Hey guys, welcome back to the show, Graham. It's been pretty cold in the shop, so I haven't been able to do much out here to get into some machining. So first I forgot what I was going to do. Come on. First thing I want to do since I got into welding is I want to share something I stumbled across about gas flow regulators. Then I'm going to show my final opinion and results on the new angle grinder stand. So hope you enjoy. See you next time. Alright, let's adjust the camera a little bit here so that's in the center. I just wanted to say a few things that I've stumbled across here on flow regulators. The gauge here on the right shows the tank pressure, which is good. The one on the left is flow for the MIG welding. It's cubic feet per hour, and according to YouTube, you set it for around 15 cubic feet per hour for MIG welding. Okay, so that's what I had this thing set for, but then I'm watching a YouTube video. I love this guy, Making Mistakes with Greg. The guy is completely self-taught, knows an awful lot of stuff about all the different types of welding from stick to TIG. But he was talking about these regulators. And there's two types. There's the one that you're looking at, and there's one with the tube and the ball bearing. But he's saying that the tube and the ball bearing one is more accurate than this. Well, I was wondering, is this thing correct? So he showed this little gadget here. I probably just set it there so you can see it. It measures airflow or gas flow at the nozzle. And I know also from other research and listening to him that there's different viscosities to the different gases. CO2 has got one, and argon's another, and so on. And so this guy, if I can turn it around, I'm not sure if you can see it. And this is the correct one. This is the one that came with the welder and the MIG torch and everything. And it clearly states on it argon, CO2. So this should be able to measure or correctly tell me what the flow is at the nozzle. But I had it set for about 15 cubic feet per hour. I put this guy on the nozzle and it read 40. So I was way, way high, and I cranked it down. And then I was thinking, why is this gauge so far off? Well, it's obviously a pressure gauge, and it's measuring it's very sensitive, I'm guessing, and it's measuring back pressure on the hose. Well, if you have a big ID, inside diameter hose, the airflow is going to be completely different than one with a small ID. But in any case, I'm hoping this new little nozzle guy is accurate. And I cranked it way down so that I'm now back at about 15 cubic feet per hour airflow, and I won't know how it works until I actually do another MIG weld on something. But so I just kind of wanted to share that. And the other thing is, evidently, it's important too. This guy knows what he's doing, and he's got the ones with the tube on it. But unless you're going to spend $200, $300, $400 on one with the tube, you're going to get junk. And the reason is, he's saying that the adjustment, the fine tune for flow, isn't good enough. He couldn't dial in like 15. He just moved that knob barely, and all of a sudden, boom, he's at 30 and then 40. Whereas I like this one because this is very sensitive. I can easily dial in like 1 cubic foot, or if I want to go from 15 to 16, I can easily do it. So, pros to this guy: gauge is wrong, fine tuning is fantastic. The pros to the other one: your flow would be accurate, But if it's a cheap one, or the $100 one, your fine-tune isn't going to be there. So for what it's worth, I just wanted to share all that. Okay, I'm going to get to reviewing this machine in a minute here, what the upgrades did and why I've got this wheel on here. But this wheel it came from Amazon. It said indestructible. There's little tiny particles on the tip here. So I don't know. And I've seen a lot of reviews on Amazon of cut off discs that just exploded. So I'm thinking, this is probably a very dangerous machine, possibly. So what I want to talk about is this shield here. Amazon, I'll put a link in the description to it. It was $35 or $36. Military grade, impact resistant, anti-fog. I don't know how they did the anti-fog, because it really is anti-fog. Has some kind of ANSI standard to it, certification, but this should really protect me here. It comes with a bunch of replaceable padding, because there's foam here on the forehead part, and easy to adjust, easy to put on, take off, easy to flip up, flip down. And I figured I'd rather destroy something like this than my $400 welding helmet, which I could also use. But in any case, hopefully I'm prepared here for any kind of a problem that might happen with this grinding stand. Well, I know you're not going to be able to see a whole lot, and the sound is going to be loud, so the microphone is way behind me. Shield on, let's see what happens. Get rid of that. Wheel, and I thought I had that tight enough, but I guess not. Okay, I see the problem. I gotta redo this spacer. Ow! Jeez, tight. Hey, there. My adapter is too thick. I gotta take the face down on it. Alright, let's try that again. The adapter was too thick to the lathe, thin it out. And as you saw, the power switch got stuck on. Alright, should work this time. Face shield is on, everything's down. And I think we're ready to go, right? Wow. Something is getting thrown at me. I can feel particles hitting my arm. I don't know if it's hitting the face shield, but I need more protection to do this. So I'll finish it off and then take it to the bench. Alright, managed to get it cut off. Let me take the camera up a little bit so you can see. Boy, it got it hot. A lot of burrs. You can see the blue here. Oof, it got hot. So I don't know if that's too good a wheel, but that was a 5-inch wheel, and the reason I went to that is because my dad's wheels, which are 4.5, wore out so fast. I made 3 cuts and then it wouldn't go down far enough because it wore out to finish the cut. So I was going to try that over any other wheel, and I'm not too thrilled with it so far. But this I know is a Precision 45. It was done before. This, I'm not sure how well it did. Looks like it did a good job, even though that vise wasn't super tight that the thing can move. But in any case, it's weldable. That's a nice tight seam right there. So I could easily weld that together, which is what I wanted. This machine to be dedicated to cutting 45s on the tubing. So with that, I hope it helps somebody out when I'm showing it. Okay, that indestructible blade that you saw on this angle grinder in the last section turned out to be a complete nightmare. It threw particles at you all over the place, and the cut looked more like it was just pushing the metal out of the way rather than cutting it. Generated a ton of heat. It was blue all over. So now I'm offering that blade to Making Mistakes with Greg. Let's see if he even wants it. So at one point I considered this machine a complete loss, but I did manage to overcome the last of the problems. So first up, I discovered these guys are Allens in the end, so that's how you adjust and tighten it up. So I don't have any screws or bolts long enough that I could just replace these with knobs and stuff, so they're going to stay as is for now. Next, I got tired of holding my finger in here to keep this thing on. So you can see I rewired the motor. It's on permanently. Put another cord on it, switch, and there's this power cord. Comes in the back, goes over to this. This was really tedious to try to file that thing square to get that plug in there, receptacle. So now I just throw the switch, it's on, and I do my cutting and then turn it off. So that solved that problem. The next one was I had bought some different thin cutoff discs from Amazon, and they all wobbled really bad. I put them on the granite plate, the surface, and you could just wobble them like crazy. So I thought, all right, maybe my adapter here that goes, remember this is a 10mm arbor, made the nut, made a small adapter so that I could mount 7/8 on the thing. Thought maybe it was too small, made a bigger one, and that helped quite a bit. But then I went and bought these guys. Oh yeah, I had my dad's cutoff blades, which are super flat in here, but they wore out so fast that you couldn't cut all the way through. So I went to 5-inch wheels, bought them, like I said, from Amazon. They were terrible, they were going back. Went to Harbor Freight. The Hercules are really nice, they don't wear out. I've done a lot of cutting, shortening up high-speed steel reamers so they fit in my machine. I went through 20 reamers, 1/2-inch shanks, and it's just lost 150 thou in diameter. So these last. They wobble slightly, but it's okay. I've got this thing tuned in so that whatever I cut off is square to 1/1000th, because I can put it in the D-bit grinder. I just make one swipe and it's clean. I cleaned up all the grinding marks and a beautiful finish on it. So that was the next problem, just making a larger 2-inch diameter adapter for 7/8. Next was, no matter what I did, I could not get this vise face to stay put. You tighten anything down and it just keeps walking back. Tighten it all you want. So I figured, the machine's useless if you can't clamp anything. I started using a C-clamp on this so I wasn't pushing on it. I said, no, this is ridiculous. So now to solve it, I've got a rod in here to the very back face. So now it can't move. It's jammed up against the back lip of this base. So now that made it really useful. Now I've been putting reamers in here, cutting them off, doing whatever I want. And I figure eventually I'll make a steel rod, a couple of sizes or something, so I can move this around. But it's staying square. I can use this. So that was the last of the problems that I had. Once I got the vise working, then I had a machine. So pretty thrilled with it so far. I would recommend the machine, but you better have a machine shop to fix all the problems. What is that? I just didn't even notice that. That's to stop it from going down any further. I don't have to worry about that because the angle grinder hits the vise. But you can see, man, I still have a long ways to go with this blade before I have to dump it and get another one. It was what, 10 of them, I think, something, for 10 bucks, 14, whatever. These are nice, so I'll be using these. And I think this was the only 1/16 inch thick. They didn't have anything thinner. I'm advised by others to try the thinner ones, which tend to explode, but in this machine I'm not going to be tilting to damage them. So thrilled with it. So that's my final review on this guy.